Good morning, boys and girls. This is the second time I'm trying to videotape this particular video today. The first one was too long, so I'm going to try to make this a little shorter so it can be uploaded to YouTube. This is grade 6, and we're talking about important formulas that you will need on the geometry test next Monday and Wednesday. It's regarding chapter 8, I believe. So I wanted to help you make your card. If you don't have a card, you can use graph paper too to put the important formulas down. Remember, formulas are like recipes. You wouldn't want to bake a cake unless you knew the proper recipe. All the questions on the test next week need a recipe, need a formula. So you should always start with that. And let's review some that should be on your card. Okay, we talked about area of a rectangle. Area equals length times width. That could also apply to area of a square. Area of a triangle is half of the base times the height. The area of the parallelogram is the base times the height. The area of a trapezoid is half of the height times base 1 and base 2. And the area of a circle is pi 3.14 times the radius squared. Make sure you have that for area on your card. Then also on your card, you should have the definition of perimeter. Really, it's the sum of all sides, okay, of a polygon that's made of straight lines. Then the circumference of a circle is the distance around a circle. And that's found by taking pi times the diameter. Okay, so that's kind of important. You want to make sure that's on your card. Okay, next we talked about surface areas in the last video. To find the surface area of your rectangular prism, just take the top, the bottom, the right, the left, the front, and the back. And if you will recall, I took a box apart and I showed you the top, bottom, right, left, front, back. All you have to do is find the area of each of those individual sides. Remember this from last video? It's called a net. And then add them up and you'll get your surface area, which is always in square inches. Surface area of a triangular prism, which is a triangular box. It's the front, the area of the front, the area of the back, the area of the bottom, and the area of both sides. Now be careful with the both sides because those are triangles. You have to use the formula for area of a triangle, which is 1/2 of the base times the height. Okay, and then the surface area of a cylinder, remember, you get the area of the top of the can we used last time. Okay, and we discovered for this particular can, which was pi r squared, the radius was 6, the diameter was 6, so the radius was 3 squared, okay, which was 9 times 3.14, and we got, I'll get it for you in a minute, the area was 28.26 square inches, so the bottom would be the same. And then you use this formula to find the side or the label around the can by using pi times diameter, which is really the formula for circumference, because remember we discovered the circumference was the top of the label, and that was the length times the height of the can. And that's how you find, by adding all those three areas together, you find the surface area of the particular cylinder that you're measuring. And surface area always comes in square units. Then lastly, today, we're going to talk about volume. Okay, volume is the inside, whereas surface area was only the outside of a figure, that which the air touches. Volume is what's inside. Okay, and to find volume, you take the length times the width times the height because it's a three-dimensional figure. So this particular rectangular prism is 3 blocks long, 2 blocks wide, and 2 blocks high. And if I were to open it up, we'd find out 3 times 2 is 6 times 2 is 12. I have 12 cubes inside. That's how you find the volume or the inside of a rectangular prism. 3 times 2 is 6 times 2 is 12. You see that B in your book, that capital B, that just stands for the base. We're talking about a rectangular prism and I've shaded in. That's the base, the length times the width, and then you just multiply that by the height. Now when you're talking about a triangular prism, the base would be a triangle. And you use that formula first to find the two sides, half of the base times the height. That's giving you your area of your sides, and then you multiply that times how high it is. In this case, if it was sitting on the triangle, the height would be 3, okay? Now, the volume of, and the answer, by the way, the answer to all of these are in cubes, like I showed you in that little box. The volume of a cylinder is the B, is pi r squared times the height, or B, which stands for the base or the area of the cylinder, the top of the cylinder, the top of the circle part. That'll give you the area of the top, and it also matches up with the area of the bottom, doesn't it? Okay, but to find volume, you just think of it as a stack of pancakes. Okay, you've got the area of one pancake and you multiply how high the particular stack is, and in this case it's 3. So it's pi r squared times 3 would give you the cubic units or the volume of this particular cylinder. Then there's one other thing that maybe we'll have to do another video on, and you should probably put this on your card or your note paper, whatever you're putting your formulas on, is the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Remember, it applies to all right triangles. These are considered the legs, the two rays that come off the right triangle. And the side opposite is called the hypotenuse. And it just so happens, Pythagoras discovered that if you square one leg and add it to the square of the second leg, you'll get the distance or the length of the third leg. Okay, we'll go into this in greater detail if Mr. Cameron would like us to do that. I think it's in part 2 of the Chapter 8 test. Okay, so that I don't run too long, I'm going to call it a day right now. And if you have any further questions, remember, mention them to Mr. Cameron and he'll pass them along to me, and maybe we'll make another video before the second part of the test next week. Remember, always start with a formula. You need a formula. If on the test next week you see find the area of a rectangle, some kids will just want to write 3 times 2. Put the formula down first. A equals L times W, and put the numbers underneath that. That will get you a better score on your test. I guarantee it. We see it every year. Okay, that's it for now. Have a wonderful day. I hope to talk to you soon.